Well, first of all, you need to be aware of it, and then you change it as you see that it's not acceptable, or you don't need to. In general, there's another thing very important to think is what is your motivation to change. Most of the times where we change because we are saturated of something, we got tired of ourselves. Then we get into a crisis, we go down, we get depressed, we think that we are the worst, and then we think about changing. When you do this way, this process is a lot of suffering. But if you start looking at yourself a little bit prior to getting all saturated, then maybe your crisis is not going to be as deep, and maybe your productivity in changing is going to be up, because you're anticipating the crisis. You're anticipating the bad crisis. You're creating a crisis cognitively and not waiting for it to become emotional. Then I need to do some therapy with it. So your question is very good, because you start looking at the patterns first, not judging it, just being aware. Exactly. Then, well, what's going on? I think this is not very good, because this behavior, it blocks this and that very strong trait that I have. So I need to change that strategically. And then my strong trait is going to function better if I don't have that. Because every time I'm going to express this, there is this thing that holds me back. What is this? So I need to change that. When you are aware of your process, you can decide what to change. Then you make the decision. And when the decision to change, cognitive, is very strong, you change faster than when you have the emotional situation, then you need to change. It takes much more time and suffering.
Yeah.
That's my experience. I have been there in both situations, and I'm telling you, when you decide to do it by yourself, and before it actually reaches that point, it's much more productive, and you feel good about yourself.
It's being proactive.
Yes, being proactive.
As opposed to being reactive and having a series of crises that are continually getting bigger and repeating, you do the analysis and you become proactive, as Dejan was describing very well, about solving the issue, identifying it. And the solution can be something that goes into your code of personal cosmoethics. So it can be to stop doing something, or it could be something that helps to build a trait that you are missing, that you don't have, that will solve the scenario. So the solution can be a couple of things you need to see. But always this process of de-dramatizing and being less emotional about it helps, being more lucid. So emotionality and lucidity are kind of opposite. If one goes up, the other is going to stay down or go down. So we can't have both. We can't be super emotional and super lucid.